I'm just a working mom doing my own dip powder nails. I'm not a trained professional. My hope is to inspire you by sharing my own creations. Enjoy! Getting those safety glasses on. The very first thing I do is remove the shine from my previous beautiful manicure. To do this, I use my Dremel with a coarse grit sanding tip. By scuffing up the top coat, the acetone soak-off will be able to work faster to remove the previous dip powder, which is the next step after this. I want to include all the steps for you beginning to end. Let's go! Just a quick comparison to show before and after dremeling. All set up in my sunroom for my soak-off with my bowl of very warm water, my 2 freezer quart bags with a sturdy paper towel in each one, and some 100% acetone to soak off the previous manicure. Here we go. Alright, here's my progress after 5 minutes. Pretty darn good. I'm going to go ahead and add some more acetone, reheat my water a little bit, and go ahead and finish this up. Another 3 minutes did the trick, soak off complete, and that was of course by rubbing my fingers on the acetone soaked paper towels inside the quart freezer bags and the bags submerged in warm water. And that did the trick very nicely. Gotta get those nails ready. I'm using a medium grit file board to shape and smooth the nail edges after I've trimmed them to my desired length. I'm definitely a fan of square tips. Obviously wear the shape and length that you prefer. I'm also pushing back my cuticles to let out that new nail growth, helping to maximize the nail surface for my dip powder. Not gonna go crazy with it, just a little will do. Another very important step to prep the nails. I'm using a fine grit sanding block to gently remove the natural nail shine, concentrating mainly on the exposed cuticle edges and then briefly on the rest of the nail. This process is truly crucial to promote a good bond for the dip powder and minimize the chance of lifting. A quick brush off, then I scrub them clean and wipe them with acetone. Starting the creation process with my liquid base coat and build powder. I like to start each manicure with a couple coats of this to add strength and shaping to the final result. Not a necessary step, so it can be skipped if preferred. I apply a skinny strip down the center of my nail, not all the way to the cuticle, and dip into the build powder. For the next coat of build powder, I apply a slightly wider strip, not all the way to the side edges, and over less length, about half. Now I'm going to begin color application. I've taped off a line down the middle finger using nail masking tape because I'm going to color block half the nail a dark burgundy and the other half will get gold glitter. I'm going to apply this nude color to my thumb. And as usual, I prefer to apply 3 coats of color. And I apply the liquid base coat to about 2/3 the length of the nail for the first coat, and get closer to the cuticle with each successive coat. This really helps to minimize the dip powder thickness at the cuticle edge. Now I'm going to apply the dark burgundy to my pointer. For my color black nail, the application will be similar, except only applied to half the nail, and I will pour the powder over rather than dip for more control as to where it goes. And kind of right away, I'm gently peeling off that tape. If you let the dip harden with the tape still on, it will be much more difficult to remove and more likely to ruin the line. To finish this hand, I'm applying nude to the remaining 2 fingers. To begin my second coat, I've reapplied a new piece of masking tape to reinforce the straight line again. Now I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same color sequence, with this layer being applied closer to, but not all the way to the cuticle yet. I do need to control the amount of base coat I'm applying. I don't want it pooling at the edges, which creates unwanted lumps to have to file down later. So I'll apply over the previous dip layer first to absorb some of that base coat, then move to exposed nail further down once there is less on the brush. I did forget to get that tape off right away, but did so soon after. Okay, starting my next coat. So exciting because I'm going to apply gold glitter on my ring finger, which will count as the 3rd coat of color to keep the dip thickness relatively even on all fingers. I blended a mixture of gold glitter dip powder and loose glitter with some size variety, shaking the tray to flatten the powder. But first things first, I'm going to apply the final coat of nude to my thumb to cover the entire nail this time. And repeat the same process with the dark burgundy on my pointer. And for my middle finger, I have applied yet a new piece of masking tape to maintain that hard line. Now go ahead and apply that third coat of burgundy here as well. And I remembered to remove the tape this time. Alright, getting ready to do that ring finger. Loosen these things on my way. I'm going to apply that liquid base coat to the entire nail. And then I'm going to go ahead and press that ring fingernail into the tray of gold glitter dip to coat all the surface. And just using a pair of tweezers to remove some loose pieces of glitter that didn't stick all the way. I'm going to finish that last coat with nude on my pinky finger. I have some unfinished business on the other half of this finger. I'm going to apply 2 coats of nude and glitter. Using the existing line of dip powder, I will carefully apply the liquid base coat to the other half of the nail, then dip in the nude powder. And go ahead and get that second coat of nude done. for this third coat, I will be applying glitter. So at this point, I did make a last minute decision to add a little bit of extra gold glitter to my pinky finger. I'm going to use a smaller brush to create a fine line over just part of my nail, just to add a little accent. Yes, I think that was just the right touch. And let's go ahead and do the other pinky. Now that all the fabulousness has been applied, I will apply 2 coats of clear dip powder to both encapsulate the glitter and protect the color layer from the filing that will follow. The first coat of clear dip won't be applied all the way to the cuticle to continue to minimize dip thickness there. For my second coat of clear dip, I will apply to the entire nail. You may notice that sometimes I dip a nail more than once. I do this to ensure all the base coat is saturated with powder. All the dipping is done. I'm going to go ahead and apply a generous layer of activator to go ahead and harden those multiple layers of dip powder and let that sit for at least 10 minutes before starting in on some filing. I must now spend some time shaping the nails to refine the look. Using a coarse grit file board, I will straighten the sides and tip and do an all over for an appropriately rounded nail bed. Let's speed things up a bit. Gosh, that looks exhausting. Just a comparison for you. Filed on the left, unfiled on the right. Next is a fine grit sanding block to smooth out the coarse filed surface. I'm also going to use a soft buffing board to further smooth and add shine. All this work will be worth it, my friends. I'm going to add another quick coat of activator to go ahead and fast cure the top coat, which is next. I let that activator sit for a few to several minutes and also wiped off the nails with a cotton round. When applying the first coat of top coat, I do so in just a few quick strokes to help reduce the incidence of brush hardening. For my second coat of top coat, I do switch out my brush with a new one out of the bottle of Brush Saver. Because I do get a bit of crunchy brush after the first layer of top coat, I definitely recommend having that on standby. Here's that final reveal. I love how festive and glam this is. This could be a great option for Thanksgiving or Christmas. So pretty. Thanks so much for checking out my nail design with me. Go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment with any questions or feedback.